Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said Ukraine would not discuss territories before a ceasefire is reached with Russia. We are discussing today, of course, a ceasefire, but we do not discuss territories until a ceasefire is reached. You know my attitude and what our red lines are. We will never recognize any of our temporarily occupied territories, Ukrainian lands, as Russian lands, Zelensky said at a briefing in Kiev on Thursday. According to Associated Press, he added that prior to Thursday's meeting in Paris, he agreed with French President Emmanuel Macron that both countries' teams would not have a mandate to discuss the territorial integrity of Ukraine. The mandate that I gave them is to discuss the issue of a ceasefire, including various formats, preferably a complete ceasefire, unconditional. But we can also discuss an unconditional ceasefire on civilian infrastructure, energy, or at sea, Zelensky said. Among other things, he said that the Ukrainian side intended to raise topics of a European military contingent in Ukraine, security guarantees, and a coalition of the willing at the meeting in Paris. During the briefing, Zelensky also said the so-called Memorandum of Intent between Ukraine and the US could be signed today, as the first step in reaching the mineral agreement between two countries.
Їх мандат, який я їм дав, обговорення питання припинення вогню, включаючи різні формати. Бажане повне припинення вогню, безумовне, але можна обговорювати і безумовне припинення вогню по цивільній інфраструктурі, енергетики, по морю, те, що ми до цього обговорювали. Тобто в різних форматах всі ми обговорювали. Україна готова до безумовного припинення вогню, як ми це декларували неодноразово після пропозиції Сполучених Штатів Америки. Яка сьогодні пропозиція буде сторін? Ну, подивимось. І до припинення вогню ми не обговорюємо територію. Ви знаєте моє ставлення і які у нас червоні лінії. Ми ніколи не будемо визнавати ті чи інші наші тимчасово окуповані території, українські землі, визнавати російські. Третє, вважаю, що пан Вітков прийняв для себе стратегію російської сторони. Вважаю, що вона дуже небезпечна, тому що він свідомо або несвідомо, я не знаю, розповсюджує російські наративи. В будь-якому випадку це не допомагає. Пару днів тому американська сторона запропонувала все ж таки повернутися іще до одного кроку, поки працюють юристи над угодою. Це меморандум про, як сказати, про наміри, так називається. Меморандум про наміри. У нас наміри позитивні, ми конструктивні, ми це показуємо. Тому меморандум про наміри, тобто не сама угода, а меморандум про наміри може бути підписаний онлайн сьогодні. Саме сьогодні наша сторона сказала, окей, зараз з американською стороною. Я так розумію, що вони зараз, віце-прем'єрка працює з американською стороною над текстом. Але, чесно, мені здається, що це меморандум, він важливий, перший крок. Ну, чому не погодитись обом країнам?
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un turned out with his daughter at a ceremony to open a new district of apartment blocks in the capital city Pyongyang on Tuesday. According to Associated Press, the reports and video came from North Korea state media on Wednesday, which often reports news a day or more after it happens. The construction project is part of a big plan to expand Pyongyang. In previous decades, the North Korean capital has gone through big construction projects, but the current series of building is the biggest for many years. North Korean media showed the leader's daughter, Kim Joo-ae, prominently at the event. The area is called Hwasong, and it quite far from the center of Pyongyang.
경사로운 봄 계절과 더불어 장려한 새 모습을 펼치고 김정은 동지께서 중공식장에 나오시자 축포가 터져오르고 폭풍 같은 만세 환호성이 하늘 땅을 증감했습니다. 전체 참가자들은 건국일에 있어보지 못한 거창한 창조 대전으로 수도 평양의 눈부신 천지 개벽의 사역사를 김정은 동지께서 준공식에 참가했습니다. 경의하는 김정은 동지께서 중공 대표를 끊으시었습니다. 위대한 현역의 시대를 상징하는 기념비적 창조물들을 연이어 떠올리며 사랑하는 인민의 복리 증진을 위한 성스러운 요정을 멈춤없이 거폭으로 이어나가는 위대한 조선노동당의 투쟁사의 불멸할 역사적 화폭이 또다시 펼쳐진 중공식장에 경축의 축포탄들이 터져오르고
The United States is urgently evacuating its military base in eastern Syria. The Al Arab Al Jadid newspaper reported that U.S. troops have left the military base located in the Kaniko gas field in the Deir-ez-Zor region. According to the information, the evacuation process has been ongoing for more than 10 days. More than 70 vehicles were removed when the first convoy left the base. 2 days ago, a larger convoy, more than 200 vehicles, left the base and were transported to Erbil, the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. According to the source, the base was used only by the U.S. military and there were no Syrian Democratic Forces fighters there. An interesting detail is that the observation balloon used to monitor the surroundings at the base has not been lifted into the air for 7 days, a sign of complete evacuation. Recently, U.S. military is set to consolidate its presence in Syria over the coming weeks and months, 2 U.S. officials told Reuters, in a move that could reduce the number of troops it has in the country by half. Pentagon officials have informed their counterparts in the Israeli security establishment of the planned troop reduction in Syria, Ynet reported, adding that it is expected to begin within 2 months. A senior Israeli official told the news site that Jerusalem is working to convince Washington to limit the withdrawal, fearing that the move will increase Turkey's appetite to control Syria, something that Israel opposes. The U.S. has kept Israel up to date on its plans, Ynet said. The U.S. military has about 2,000 U.S. troops in Syria across a number of bases, mostly in the northeast. The troops are working with local forces to prevent a resurgence of Islamic State, which in 2014 seized large swathes of Iraq and Syria but was later pushed back.